Hi, my name is Stephen Mangan, and I've recorded the audiobook for my book, The Unlikely Rise of Harry Sponge, for Belinda. I think a few things happened at once. I had children of my own and was reading a lot to them. And my sister was an illustrator who'd become very successful in her own right. And she put it to me that because she knew I'd always wanted to write children's books. So a lot of things seemed to come together, and I'm very glad they did. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'm not sure which hero would be, but I think the best heroes and what I would aspire to are the heroes who do things quietly so that no one sees them do it, and they just do it just to be good and not for the attention and the glory. So I'd like to be that kind of hero if I could. I love Huxley Beeline because he's so clever, way cleverer than me, and he's so logical, and he's fun because he thinks in such a specific way. He doesn't really understand how other people feel. He just understands logic, and I just had a lot of fun doing his voice. I'd be Rodney Dangertubes because I'd always fancy being a goat. Give it a go, why not? I mean, I found out what it was like to be a goat. And he's got the coolest name in the book, Rodney Dangertubes. Doesn't get any cooler than that. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I suppose, and it only occurred to me after I'd finished, but Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a story about a boy from a poor family who enters a competition to change his life. So I suppose maybe in the back of my mind, even though these are very, very different books, I love that book. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So maybe that was working away in back of my brain. But there are no Oompa Loompas in my story. It's just goats. I listen to audiobooks before I go to sleep. I listen to them when I'm running. I run a lot. I listen to them in the car. I listen to them on the tube when I'm traveling in and out of London to various work things. I listen to them all the time. I love them. I love them. Because if you get a good book with the right reader, it's a magical experience. You get a whole other dimension that you don't necessarily just get from reading the book, because you get the imagination of the reader thrown in as well. So it's like good on good. It's like double good. So I just listened to an audiobook of The Life of Charles Dickens that was written by Claire Tomalin. And I really enjoyed that because, firstly, Dickens had an incredible life. And secondly, he lived in a lot of places quite close to where I was, where I lived. And I would listen to it when I was walking from my house into the centre of London. And Dickens used to walk for hours and hours and hours every day, 4 hours a day. And I walk quite a lot and I run quite a lot. So listening to the story about him in the place often where the story was set, and about him walking while I was walking, because you can't read a book really when you're walking, but you can listen to an audiobook.